3, 2. All right, hello. Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being here with me. My name is Otis Landerholm. I'm the founding immigration attorney here at Landerholm Immigration, A.P.C, where we fight for your American dream. And thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. It is Thursday, the 11th of August of 2022. And I really, I welcome everyone. Welcome everyone on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. We are live, and welcome. This is the Empowered Immigrant Live, and I'm so grateful to be here with you on this beautiful Thursday here in the Bay, all right, or wherever you're watching from. So today, I want to share about the news, the new federal ID for immigrants that has been proposed. So that's going to be our topic. And after we discuss that topic briefly, we'll get into any questions that you have. And so if you're tuning in and if you have an immigration-related question, heck, send it over. All right, send it over. I'd love to answer any question that you have here today. And so we'll jump right in. So remember that at the Empowered Immigrant Live, we are here to train, to teach, to inspire, and to empower immigrants to make the most out of immigration laws and to make the most out of their lives. All right? So my name's Otis Landerholm. If you're tuning in, I'm the founding immigration attorney here at Landerholm Immigration, A.P.C, where we fight for your American dream. Our theme for today is this new federal ID for immigrants in removal proceedings. I want to tell you about it. I want to tell you my thoughts on it. My question for you is, hey, do you want to get a green card this year? Do you want to come out of the shadows? Do you want to apply for some kind of immigration benefit? Is this year your year, right? If so, go for it. Go for it. I'd love to help you with it. My firm is on a mission to win 10,000 immigration cases by 2035. We would love for your case to be one of them. And we're also here to be a resource, and we're here to answer questions. And we're doing this in English right now. We'll do it in Spanish in 30 minutes. And, and let's do it, all right? And if you've got your questions, send them. Send them to me. It's totally fine. So, a couple things for Carlos on my team. Carlos, if you could put a link for our meeting for our team members, that'd be great. And if you see any questions that maybe I don't see, please bring them to my attention, as you always do. All right, so before we get into the immigration ID that's being proposed, I want to start, like I've been doing, with an empowerment tip. All right, I have not always been an empowered business owner. I've not always been an empowered human being. I now consider myself to be very empowered, and I want to share some of that. All right, so part of these trainings is me doing an empowerment tip. My tip for today is, what are you waiting for in your life? What are you waiting for? Okay, and is there something in your life, in any area of your life, that you know you need to do, you know you want to do, you know you want to move forward with, but you're just waiting for the right time? All right? Maybe you're waiting for the right amount of money to magically appear in your bank account. All right? Maybe you're waiting for your spouse to be on the same page with you. Maybe you're waiting for, I don't know, the pandemic to lift even more. Maybe you're waiting for your kids to go back to school or whatever. You know, this idea, this concept happens so much in immigration cases. We see it all the time. A person will come in, they'll meet with my team, they'll meet with my office, and they will have a case. All right, they have a winnable solution, a winnable option for their immigration case and their future, which, by the way, so many people don't have. All right? And a person, after going through that process, will say, hey, I got it, I got the information. I'll call you when I'm ready. All right? Or I'm not ready yet. Or I want to talk to, I want to think it through more or whatever, right? And then, yes, think it through. But it's like, what are you waiting for? All right? If you've got a viable option, and if you can do something, like so many people, they allow fear of the unknown, fear of the unfamiliar to stop them right where they are. And my question for you is that you? All right? Is that you in some area of your life? Because if so, stop it. All right? Don't let fear get in your way, and instead, hey, take action. Take action to achieve whatever you want to achieve. Life's short, people. Take action to create the life you want. Got it? That's my empowerment tip for today. Thank you. I hope that was useful. Let me know in the comments. Let me know if this stuff is useful. All right? And I really appreciate everybody being here. Hey, I see some people joining me on Instagram. Kat, hello. Olois. I know I say that incorrectly, but hello. Jose, hello. Mariela, hello. Thank you all so much for being here. I really appreciate it. All right, so let me get into the topic. This will be it's quick. You may have heard in the news. The Biden administration has announced that they want to start issuing a new federal ID for immigrants who are in removal proceedings. All right, specifically, the Biden administration is asking to include $10 million, all right, to the annual budget for the next fiscal year to be allocated to what they call a secure docket card, okay? And I want to be clear about, first of all, we don't know much more than that at this stage. There's been a couple of news articles. There hasn't been regulations passed about this. We're not super clear if this is actually going to pass in the next round of budgeting, all right? But, $10 million, it's not a lot, really, for the federal budget. And so we'll see. We'll see what kind of an impact this has. It might go into effect. It's sort of like, okay, what is it and what isn't it? Some people hear this and they get excited like they're going to get some kind of a useful document, some kind of way to, I don't know, come out of the shadows in a more significant way if they're in removal proceedings and they're undocumented. And what I want to be clear is, at least my reading of the articles that have been published so far, is that this is not like a federally recognizable form of ID. This is not, for example, a Social Security card, right? It's not a real ID compliant driver's license. It's not a driver's license at all right? It's an ID that would be issued directly from ICE or from the Department of Homeland Security. It would have your A number on it. Really, it sounds to me like it would just enable DHS, maybe your lawyers also, to more quickly locate information about your immigration case. Okay? It doesn't seem like a huge game-changing, this is not a huge new immigration reform benefit, right? And so my purpose for today is to announce, check it out in the news, see for yourself, right, the news articles. But I want you to be aware that this is happening. I want you to be aware of it, that it is happening, but also to, I don't want anybody to fall for some kind of scam if there's some lawyer or notario trying to sell you a service to get one of these things. Don't listen to that stuff. All right? And I'll do more episodes like this in the future if and when the budget with this in it were to actually pass. We'll be monitoring it, all right? It should not change anything about the immigration court process, and this proposal changes nothing about who is eligible for immigration relief, asylum, immigration benefits, cancellation of removal. It changes nothing related to any of that. Okay? And so a lot of people are asking, hey, what does this do for me? Or what does this mean for me? My read of it is that DHS will start using this first at the border to help speed up the processing of immigrants who are allowed to come in or that are going to be detained or that are allowed to be paroled in at the border but who will still be in removal proceedings. All right? And so what will this card do for you if you're already here in the U.S.? My belief is it won't do much. All right? It won't do much. Maybe it'll be some kind of a easier way to keep track of your case in the future. Maybe it'll be a way to not lose important documents. You'll be able to keep your important case file, case information in maybe access to it quicker, maybe more access electronically to your files. It might cause changes in the request for FOIA's process. It might give your attorney better, quicker access to your file. Other than that, it probably won't change much. Okay? So I just want people to be aware of that. If you have questions about it, if you read the news, you've got additional things to say, thoughts about it, hey, that's what we're here for. Please, give us a call. Feel free to reach out, and we can give you any updates as we get them. But that's basically it. Okay? New federal ID, it's been announced. Check the news. We'll see if the proposal makes it through budget negotiation processes. And then if so, we'll see what this card ends up doing for folks. My guess is it won't change the actual process too much. It might just make it a little bit, it might actually save some money from the Department of Homeland Security. And it might save some time for the attorney to more quickly be able to access your file. So that's it. That's it. So I want to get into your questions now, and I didn't receive that many questions today, so if you have a question, please do send it over. One question that I did get came from Ibrahim. All right? So Ibrahim, thank you for asking your question. Your question says, I think that my family's I-130 that I filed on July 7th of 2020 has been sent to a fraud unit. Okay? So it was filed in 2020. I think it was sent to a fraud unit because of my first marriage. Okay? I've been trying to know how long it will take them to give me a final answer. While they're doing the investigation, I was thinking of moving back to Africa to be with my family because my second son is always sick. Until I get an answer from USCIS, can I come back to the U.S. to follow the rest of the steps? Do you think that's a good idea? I've been a U.S. citizen since March 3rd, 2022. All right. So Ibrahim, thank you for asking that question. Thank you for asking that question. There's some complex things in that question that I want to dissect a little bit. First of all, it's true that if USCIS suspects marriage fraud, or really any type of fraud, they will transfer the file to a fraud unit within USCIS. When they do that, it slows a case way down. All right? It makes the processing much slower. And they might do things. They might send someone out to your house. They might have someone follow up with your family in Africa. They might go interview your ex-wife or your ex-spouse, right? They might interview the neighbors of your ex-spouse, showing them a picture of you saying, hey, do you know who this is? Right? They might do all kinds of things to build up a case to potentially build it up against you. Now, it is great it is great that you are already a U.S. citizen. Okay, so that's great. And so my question there is, and it looks like you became a citizen in 2022 after the fraud unit got involved, or maybe right around the same time or something. And so that's a positive thing. All right, that's a very positive thing. And so, because it's a lot harder to take away a benefit if they've already granted you U.S. citizenship. And the other thing that you're asking in this question is, hey, is it okay for me to go back to Africa while the process is pending? The answer to that really is it's okay. It is. It's okay. At the time that you sponsor your family, you have to be quote-unquote domiciled back in the U.S., all right? So you have to have your main country of residence be the United States after the petition is approved, before you can get them an immigrant visa in their passport to come and join you in the U.S. You've got to show, it's the sponsorship requirement, the I-864, which is part of the process that requires you to be quote-unquote domiciled in the U.S. So at this stage of the game, you could go to Africa. Now, is that a good idea? Well, for me to give you good advice about that, I would love to review your file first, because that fraud issue is there. And you don't want to leave to Africa and then have USCIS show up at your door trying to determine whether or not there was a fraudulent relationship. I mean, heck, maybe you do, maybe you don't. To give you good advice, though, I would much rather review your whole file. So my question for you would be, do you have a copy of your whole file? Have you ever requested your FOIAs? Because it's wise to request the FOIAs. Maybe there are notes from the fraud unit in there, right? And if so, you might get a sense of what are they really looking at in your situation. And I've looked at records like this. I love dissecting records like this to see how could we strategize it, right, to maximize your chances of winning. So I hope that was helpful, Ibrahim, and I really appreciate that question. I don't see, and if you want, more direct advice related to your situation, hey, give us a call. We'd love to do that. Okay? So I don't see that I've received any other questions this morning, and so that's awesome, not a problem. If you have a question, send it in. I'd love to answer it. And if not, hey, that's not a problem also, right? And if you do end up sending a question, I will still answer it even after our live session. And to see those answers, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, click that notifications bell, and that's where we will update any news, any questions, anything like that gets updated onto our YouTube channel. So go check it out. All right. So that's it for today. Thank you so much to everyone who has joined me. I hope this was useful. If it was, please subscribe to our channel. If you have an immigration case, hey, we're here to help. We'd love to help you. And yeah, have a great rest of your day. So thank you for joining me. I'm Otis Landerholm, Landerholm Immigration, A.P.C, where we fight for your American dream. And I will see you on the next episode of the Empowered Immigrant Live.